Hello everyone, Red Fox Mage here. I'm here to talk to you guys about a build in a game that I would like to do. And it's called the Mjolnir Shock Nova Ultimate Lightning Monger build. Okay, the name could be a lot shorter. Lots of lightning. How about we just call it that? The Mjolnir Lots of Lightning build. Okay? So first off, we'll go through over the gear. Well, why Mjolnir? First off, actually, we'll do that. Why Mjolnir? Well, lightning. I am a lightning slut. I love lightning. Oh, please give me more lightning. Shock me, daddy, etc., etc. But unfortunately, it has a fantastically huge amount of stat requirements, which means a great deal of investment into, in this case, strength and intelligence, in order to get that sweet, sweet, sweet trigger a lot socketed lightning spell on hit. Why dual wield? Because why not double the spells? Right? Or at least so it seems. Now, it turns out in the wiki that when you have dual-wielding Mjolnirs, it will cast this Mjolnir, and then it will cast this one, and then this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Well, it turns out also that Cyclone does the same damn thing. Cyclone, right here, the skill, right? It will hit with this weapon, and then this weapon, and then this one, and then this one, and this, and this, and this, and this. And thus, that leads into one tiny little issue that, because both in this case, ball lightning on both Mjolnirs go on cooldown, right? You would think, oh, because they're on cooldown, by the time Cyclone hits with this one, it's still on cooldown, or it's just coming off cooldown. The server hasn't refreshed it yet because the server pings at 33 milliseconds, 33 ms. Therefore, it goes back to this one, and all you're ever really doing is smacking and triggering with this one. But however, with the current setup I have right now, and also I'm pretty sure there is some sort of variable, because there's a lot of hiddens in Mjolnir, that if you're dual-wielding Mjolnir, the cooldown recovery is cut down. Because when I did a test most recently, I noticed that when I had a separate spell, Arc in this case, Arc and Ball Lightning in for Mjolnirs, Arc and Ball Lightning was casting, Ball Lightning was casting every 7 frames, no matter which Ball Lightning proc I saw, okay? Every single time, though, I saw Ball Lightning proc with double Ball Lightning, it was casting every 3. Now, that doesn't mean that it's 4 frames faster, it means it's half a frame faster. Why half? Well, with double ball lightning, it means it's proc, 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 proc. With arc ball lightning, it was proc, 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 proc. But the proc, proc was still slower on cooldown recovery for some reason than if it was proc, 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 proc. So, we're gonna go over the gear as fast as I can. So, Mjolnir, first one, corrupted. White socket, ball lightning, elemental focus, slow projectiles. That's in both of them. Okay, second one is not corrupted. I'm still playing with the build, therefore I needed it to be uncorrupted, so I can change the colors if need be to that, to a blue or a red if Iron Will ends up being a thing, etc., etc. I bought this with Cyclone attack speed, I think for 10 chaos, slapped another chaos into it because the rolls were all absolutely garbage, and then bam, that's what I got. So I was like, cool, threw armor, energy shield, threw it away in a stash, came back to this when I finally got around to this build. This was 2.5 exalted, before anyone freaks out at me, oh, you overspent on that. It's a game, first off, and secondly, quite honestly, like, 2.5x for a 6-link elegant ring meal that's unique and all that other jazz, right? It's max roll almost, etc., etc. I wasn't arguing it. I needed it for the testing of the build. I wanted to see how well a Zealot's off works. It doesn't. For the build, etc., etc. So 2.5x down the drain, basically. Except now I've got a really cool chest piece. This was 1x. This is a fantastic amulet. This is exactly what you would ever want to look for in an amulet. The only thing that would make it better is if the tiers were higher. That's a tier 9 lightning damage, not a tier 1. The increased armor is fantastic. The lightning res could technically be tier 1, but I don't need any in this one. The strength is tier 2, but being increased to 55 by the attribute modifier. And the lightning damage is tier 1. So it's a lightning damage one for sure, and it's a strength one for sure. And it's just a bunch of strength, and then when I bought it, It was exactly as you see it right now. Utmost Might must have been thrown on at some point, corrupted it, and he got a 7%, or he got the 6% strength as well. So, perfect. Alright, cool. That's 1x. So, this whole build is 3.5x just on those 2 items, but we're not going to count this because I'm pretty sure this is the wrong chess piece. Okay? So right now we're at like 1.5x, maybe maximum, because these are high rolls. This had to have in my stash, trying to sell for cheap chaos kind of thing like that. So threw it on, needed strength, crafted dexterity. The LE res always helps. Socket means I throw flame dash in. Cool, perfect, done. This was 10 chaos. It's probably only worth 1 or 2 right now anyway, anymore. I overpaid on it, absolutely. I don't need physical attack damage, leeches life. I have 1 health. I don't need any of that shit that's on there except the dexterity. The ally res is always good, and the conductivity on hit is what I was buying this for. Back to the 2 stone, perfect. Okay, these I got at like level fucking 17, and then at level 20 when you can put them on. I put them on and haven't looked back since. I mean, it's spell damage. It's just straight spell damage, and then intelligence on top of that helps, and then energy shield. I need better ones. I think if I understand PoE DB well, and modifiers, I want fingerless silk gloves with culling strike from warlord influence and a whole shit ton of energy shield. Moving on. These are the wrong base. These are the right stats. These are the wrong lab enchant. That's Uber Lab, and what I wanted was damage penetrates 10% of elemental resist if you haven't killed recently. That'd be perfect. But it didn't roll that. It gave me crit instead, and I went, alright, at least I get elemental overload more reliably. This was 10 chaos, and then I threw a divine orb on it because I just had extra ones just laying around, so I'm like, fuck it. Threw it on there, upgraded my DPS, changed the formula from 6.67 attacks per second in order to get both of these to proc efficiently and at the same fucking time to 7.32. As you can see with Cyclone, my attacks per second is only 6.85. Golden, perfect. We don't want it too low, but we definitely could have it higher. I'll get into that in a minute. Links are simply Ice Golem, Lightning Golem, Flame Golem, cast when damage taken. That way I don't have to cast them, and I mean, I take enough damage that ridiculous number that it's going to end up being when it's a 2020 of like 3,500 is fine. It's actually fine. I'm not using the cast when damage taken to reliably trigger Steel Skin. I'm using it to trigger my golems once. Or every once in a while, okay? And because they're max, because these are golems that will end up being max, they'll have a shit ton of health, and they won't die nearly as bad to tier 16 maps, or at least that's the theory, right? Cyclone, Fortify in there to get some more damage mitigation. That's not for the Cyclone damage. Cast while channeling, because we're not critting, but we still can crit. Doesn't mean that we should be running cast when crit, because cast when channeling is more reliable. Shock Nova. Oh boy! I went through so many spells trying to figure out which spell to put for my cast and channeling, and Shock Nova is the only one that made sense. It's an AoE around you, it has increased chance of shock, it has increased effective shock. The whole idea is you're using Shock Nova to shock. Not to do damage, so the damage is, yeah, it's still nice, but yeah, you're using it to shock. Infused channeling for more damage mitigation and faster attacks in order to get closer to that sweet, sweet golden attack speed number. Okay? Quicksilver Flask of Speed, Bismuth Flask of Effects, Granite Flask of Armor. That I dropped off at Zeri, just luck. That took way too many fucking alts to get to the Enduring, let alone Enduring of Staunching. And when I finally did get Enduring, it was just clean, so I inaugurated the Staunching onto it. Now, for the absolute I'm level 77. Welcome to the grotesque passive tree. At first, it doesn't seem too okay, it's starting to look abnormal. So there's our anoint from our side. Because we run a bit of armor, we got Soul Steel. Because we need accuracy, we got Eagle Eye. Because we're running Zealot's Oath, we got Warrior's Blood, which also gave us strength. This build, by the way, as its current state, is just barely scraping by for stats. I barely have enough int. Actually, no, that's 50 over, so that's not barely. But I'm 3 over on strength, and I need more dex. Okay? So remember this. This is why this build in its current iteration sucks. And then we came up here. Oh, this would explain it. The Ascendancy, Elementalist, Path of the Witch, Juggernaut. Okay? I needed the accuracy. I needed the stuff. Okay? So when you finally get Path of the Witch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it looks the exact same otherwise. I mean, I'd be missing these 5 nodes, let's just say right now. But then, when you finally get Path of the Witch, you take those 5 points out and put them there, or whatever the case may be. Right? Go up through the spell damage, because this build is starving for spell damage. Went up through here, grabbed all of this stuff. This is energy from within, so that all the life nodes get turned into energy shield. Elemental Overload is super important for this build right now. I didn't have enough damage, and I didn't know I didn't have enough damage because PoB was telling me to grab these nodes if I want to increase my just overall effectiveness. So that's bad because I'm already got lightning damage leached as energy shield here, and that's all I should honestly ever need from anyone. Anyone will tell you that, but PoB was giving me another like 150% effectiveness for taking all 3 of these, so I was like, ah, crap. I immediately knew this didn't do enough damage. And that is this iteration. And it's good. It works. I finished Uber Lab on it, so it works, but it's not correct. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm going to do for my next league, or for the next league as my league starter, if you will. It's the same general idea, except it has different gear and a different tree. So the gear is 5 uniques, 2 energy from withins, okay? So these I'll probably have to buy unless I'm lucky. This I'll have to buy. This I could chance, that I could chance, that I can chance, these I can chance. I'll end up having to buy almost all of this. I almost promise you my luck's not that good. Alright. And the skills also changed a little bit. Instead of Ball Lightning, we're using Arc. Right, with LA Focus and Lightning Pen, but the idea is still the same. Shock Nova is going to do the shocking, and by the time we get into range to melee with Cyclone, then Arcs will kick in and just do a whole fuck ton. Right? The tree looks somewhat similar, but is actually dramatically different. I know, right? Welcome to Path of Exile. So we still go down here, we still get our accuracy, because we need that, right? This is at level 81. So we come up here, and instead of taking those points out, we put another energy from within and grab that. And then we go 1, 2, and we can connect into there if we need to. This is literally just an energy shield boost. So if we can get rid of this and get something more profitable out of it, we totally could. Because energy from within are not generally cheap. They're like 40-50 chaos for 6% rolls. Moving on, grab the standard stuff down here. I didn't grab these because they're only 45 and 44 energy shield respectively when I grabbed them. It's a lot, but it's not really that much. What else? We've taken out Chaos Inoculation, and we've taken out Reduced Mana Reserve. Hence why we're doing Alpha's Howl. Until we get to a point that I can get Mana Reservation via a Essence Slam or some other means necessary, or maybe a different item in the build. But instead of going like some weird route over here or something like that, we go up here, we grab this for the Energy Shielded Life. You have to excuse me. We grab this for the energy shield. We're going to grab that and that from the energy shield. This is only 45 energy shield. Do not grab it. This is more spell damage, As you can see, the big key thing here is that things like this. Lightning damage and lightning conversion. Divine Wrath. Why? Because our Cyclone has also changed a little bit. Now does physical to lightning and added lightning damage, which also affects our Shock Nova, giving our Shock Nova even more damage and even more shock effect and shock effect. So, or shock and shock effect. Let me try that again with a new tongue. And this is at 81. If I were to reduce it any further to make it more 75, I would just take those out. And now we're down to 73. Our Cyclone is hit capped, and even when I do have these, and I crank my level back up to 81, we're at 99%, which sucks. But we also have to keep in mind that gloves, boots, rings, and belts have not been filled in. I also don't have enough strength. Gloves, boots, and rings, and belts haven't been filled in. And Astromantis probably can get replaced at some point later for something like my current necklace in my current poor iteration of this build. We're going to close Path of Exile, Path of Building, and we're going to go into a map here really quickly. But the point being is, I'm going to show you what the current problem is with my setup. Or at least I'm going to try to. This is about the 5th time I've tried to record this video, and every single time the videos end up being like 25-30 minutes long. I've got this down to 15 minutes from what it says, so we're just going to go... Oh, oops. I got to smack this one awake a bit. No! Dash! So we're going to smack that awake. I said we're going to smack that awake. Make sure there's no fizz reflect. Okay, cool. Now, off the crafting bench. Thank you. Yeesh. I gotta fix my aim in my hideout. And away we go. So I'm gonna walk in here, I'm gonna smack the Delirium portal. We're not concerned about loot or anything like that too much. I mean, hey, if an Exalter or a Chaos drops, I'll take it. Or a Mirror Shard or Mirror itself. The point being is, that shit drops, I'm taking it. Otherwise, we're going in here, we're smacking the Delirium portal. We're just going to go straight to the boss as best as I can so that I can show you what the freaking issue is. This is a siege map. It's nothing too fancy. It's a big square. Cool. It's a bad reward. As you can see, I am not just instigating everything, and my portals are dropping pretty rapidly. But neither is my health. And we're just clearly going through this all, minding our own business. Like, hey, how's it going, buddy? Just gonna dash over that right there. I like having a movement skill. I hate flame dash. It has a cast time, and I don't like it, unlike dash, which feels far more instant. And we're just cleaning house at the current moment. Alright? But the second I hit the boss, I almost promise you I'm going to start struggling. Even this right here could be a little bit of a job dead. And that is what I'm talking about. I get clapped way too easy. Alright? I do have an anti-bleed flask, and I think I was bled. Therefore, that's my own fault. Nope, it was chaos damage. Alright, cool. Or poison damage. Give me the damn map it's on. Thank you. But as you can see, even on magic mobs, there are some magic mob variants where they're like increased life, allies have increased life, or something like that. Ooh, a bunch of leather there. There's the boss. And welcome to the Slugfest. I got one tapped. You see now? You see why I need help? You see why I'm trying my best to make a really good build here? This is tier 6. Tier 6. Not tier 16, tier 6. It cleans the map, but as soon as I get to the boss, that's when we start having problems. Yeah, I don't know what clapped me there. I really don't. That's recap when? Apparently the Chinese clients have it, as I've been told. Alright, so Delirium's ended. Tukelham burning me. I have no way to stop burn, I don't think. As you can see, the ball lightnings are being just dumped out. Yeah, the build technically does work, but I'm getting clapped, and it's no fun getting clapped. I have to figure out how to make it more... Oh, that was a bad timing. I'm dead. Oh, I'm not dead. I have to figure out better timing to just make this work. Or a better build, a better gear, better everything. Okay? I'm just getting smacked. And that's it. And then I'm dead. And that was the whole map. I don't care about the rest of the map. The whole point being is, this is the build. And I love it. I love how it feels. I love the fact that there's a big Shock Nova going out and just shocking everything around me. I like the fact that, in my case, for next league is going to be Arc. The Arc is going to be chaining through all the mobs and just chewing them up much more effectively than Ball Lightning is. Ball Lightning, I'm not saying is bad. It's fantastic for bosses. It hits 6 times per ball kind of thing. But it's just not working. I need to do something else. And also, it doesn't get any benefit from Chain, where Arc does. So that's why I'm going Arc for next league. So, if you have any suggestions, if you have any ideas on how to make the next league, or the build I'm going to do for next league, which is the same thing, but just with some different items and things like that. If you have any suggestions, have any gear choices that I should be considering, have any thoughts and opinions on it, other than don't do the build, because I've heard that one a billion times, and I look at you and I'm like, this is fun. I don't care if this is meta or not, this is fun, right? Then feel free to leave a comment, feel free to discuss. I would love to hear from the Path of Exile community. I would love to hear from the better known, such as like Mathel and Empyrean Gaming, MB Extreme. I know there's like in Jack, something Jack, and I know there's like 4 or 5 other people at least that are consistently putting content out for Path of Exile on YouTube, let alone streaming. I know there's lots of people who play the game. So instead of just being hateful about this, why don't we just bounce knowledge off of each other and make this work? I would love to see the community come together and make this simple idea, this simple concept, actually good, with a defensive pool that won't get completely tapped. I like it because it's a bit slower, so you're just not insta-gibbing the entire fucking game, and then it's like, what am I doing? This is boring. Alright? I like the spell effects. I like everything about it. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Feel free to talk about it more. I would love to hear what you have to think and say about it. And with that said and done, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!